I'm a person in long-term recovery, and for me that means I've been sober from drugs and alcohol since March 12th of 2013. So I'm really, really thankful to show up and to be visible for y'all, and to y'all for creating that space where I can be visible, where all of you can be visible, where we can share recovery here today, where we can come together and experience collective resilience. That's what this is all about.
First of all, my name is Martine, and on November 6th, I will have 30 years of sobriety. The other side of my story is that my daughter had her substance use disorder, and she tried very, very hard to find recovery. But that didn't happen, and she passed away on March 7th of 2013.
You know, this brings the conversation to the forefront. People in recovery get well just as people with other disease, and we need to steer away from being identified as an addict or somebody else that has a deficit, and be identified as a person with things. Just as somebody with diabetes, we don't refer to them as the diabetic. We refer to them by their name with a disease in recovery, with a disease that's being managed.
I think one of the things that's so difficult as a parent is when you have somebody that comes up and says, so what's the right thing to do if you have a child in addiction? My answer always is there's really not a right or wrong, because every family is different. But there is one thing that's always right, and that's that you continue to love them.
I know you get so angry at them, because we all do, but they really need us, and honestly, it does work. Recovery works, sobriety works.
If you're a parent or you're a person that is in recovery, you probably can identify with me when I say, I never really wanted to be here. But when you wake up every morning and your reality is that you have to have a loved one that is actively using, you got a choice. And I had a choice to either continue on my way and ignore the fact that I had a loved one, my daughter Cassie, who is in recovery today, or I can try and do something about it to help others. So this is the Voices of Recovery rally. That's because your voices are being heard by the folks that work in that building.
Hope legislation consists of 17 different pieces of legislation that have brought monies to the field, that has saved lives, that continues to expand the knowledge base of the community and the state regarding recovery.
A lot has been accomplished. We have naloxone in more hands. Lives are being saved on a daily basis. That's a good thing. We know there's still barriers that need to be overcome.
And it's important to know that we're dealing with the issue of the stigma that is attached to people who have suffered from substance abuse, whether that's alcohol, whether that's drugs, any substance that hinders us from enjoying our humanity. And that humanity connects us all.
So every single person, those in recovery today, need to step up and speak out about that recovery and share the awesomeness that's going on in your life because of that recovery. Those that are impacted by addiction need to lend a helping hand out to those that are still struggling today and say, I love you and I care about you and I'll be there no matter what.